Yes. Yes, he is. Question is, does he have a basement? Something you just have to get used to when you live. Any night, just sitting. That's his place. Can't get it to him. Please stand for the pledge. Cecily, roll call, please.
Counselor Augsburger. Here. Counselor Bronson. Counselor Hagee.
Here.
Counselor Richards. Counselor Sanchez. President Pro Tem Thorstad.
Here.
Mayor Coleman.
Present. Let the record show that we have 5 present and 2 absent.
Madam Mayor?
I'm here.
Oh, hi, Counselor
Thank you.
Richards. Thank you. Let the record show that we have 6 present and 1 absent. Yes.
Turned into a ghost.
I would like to make a motion to excuse Counselor Sanchez from the work session and this meeting. She is in Salem at the referendum hearing.
I
We
will
have a motion
second
on
that.
the- We have a motion and a second. Cecily, please call for a vote.
Counselor Bronson.
Yes.
Counselor Hagee.
Yes.
Counselor Richards.
Yes.
President Pro Tem Thorstad.
Yes.
Mayor Coleman.
Yes.
Counselor Augsburger.
Yes.
Let the record show that we have 6 yeses and no nays to approve Counselor Sanchez's absences from both the work session and this meeting. Moving on, the first thing on the agenda is the consent agenda. There are 2 sets of minutes in this consent agenda. You can pull anything from the consent agenda, or you can make a motion to approve it all.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Cecily, please call for a vote.
Counselor Hagee.
Yes.
Counselor Richards.
Yes.
President Pro Tem Thorstad.
Yes.
Mayor Coleman.
Yes.
Counselor Augsburger.
Yes.
Counselor Bronson.
Yes.
Let the record show that we have 6 yeses and no nays to approve the consent agenda. This evening, under recognition of visitors and hearing of petitions, we have a full schedule. So I just want to first bring forward Henry Brewer. Could you come forward, please? And you can sit at the desk or you can stand there, whichever you prefer. And I have actually invited Henry to be here this evening because I had heard about what he's been doing in our community. If you sit down, actually, you might be able to speak into some things in case I get this wrong. I think that you've signed up with Raising Men Lawn Care Service, which is an organization from Huntsville, Alabama.
Yes.
And in 2024, you mowed 50 yards.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when you mow 50 yards with this organization, which types of yards are you mowing?
You can mow like teachers' lawns and veteran lawns and like single moms and stuff.
That's amazing. So you did 50 of those.
50.
Wow. And do you get anything after you do that?
You get a lawnmower, a weed eater, a leaf blower.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so that you signed up, you did that in 2024. And I just want to say thank you, first of all, because I think that's amazing that you are doing those kind of services in this community for those in need, especially the veterans and the seniors and single moms. I think that's wonderful. But you also signed up to do that again this year. Is that correct?
Yes, I think I'll do that again.
Wow, that's amazing. And I just want to say thank you because people like you is what makes Sweet Home a better better place to live. I just think we have a lot of great community members, but I thought, wow, how impressive that you are doing this at your age. So I just wanted to bring you here and say thank you. And we have a couple of items for you. One is a Sweet Home Challenge coin. And I just went out and got some Sweet Home specific stickers so you can stick them on your water bottle, and wanted to present this to you and say thank you from all of us.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you to Henry's family too for coming out and supporting him and bringing him here. So thank you again, Henry. You make this world a better place. Okay, moving on, we do have Sweet Home Chamber of Commerce annual report.
Hey, thank you for having me again this year. It's my annual reporting in. First off, I want to say thank you so much for being in attendance at our annual banquet. I appreciate your support of everything we do here. And it's a super fancy, like it should be just a 45-minute presentation. So we'll be good. We got this. Okay. So we're just going to go over a few things. First off, for those of you that aren't aware, the Chamber of Commerce handles the Visitor Center as well. So we are contracted with the city to do that. So that is what I'm sharing about. We're going to talk about more of the tourist visitor side of things of the chamber. So our board of directors is a volunteer board, and it's made up of local business and community leaders. And these individuals donate their time to help support economic development, local businesses, and tourism efforts in Sweet Home. And I'm grateful for their leadership. You'll see Shelley Larson is the president for 2026. Christy Duncan moved into vice president. Erica Bayham, she's the secretary treasurer. And then Michael Hall is on the board, along with Carla Hogan, Travis Lutmer, Wendy Melcher, and Vance Monroe. So we have a lot of strong leaders there, but incredibly, all of them have a heart to see Sweet Home thrive. So I really am, well, I wouldn't be there if I didn't have a strong board. So anyway, so moving on. In 2025, the Visitor Center had a documented 744 in-person visits, and that represents an overall an 83% increase over 2024. So when we break it down, 124 of those visits were tourism related, while 620 were related to local business or community services. Compared to previous years, tourism related visits increased by 48% and business related visits increased by 92%. I think people are getting more familiar that we're there, and I think my cool sign helps with that. And they just are more comfortable with stopping by. The increase reflects the growing visitors' interest in Sweet Home and the role the Visitor Center plays as a place where residents come for local information and services. Visitors we've welcomed were from across the country: Arizona, Delaware, Illinois, Michigan, Texas, New York, Wisconsin. Got to say it like that, Wisconsin, right? And our international visitors were from Vancouver, BC, but also England. Then we'll move on to the phone inquiries. Yes, I have visitors that call, but I also answer a lot of questions for local residents. And these were a sample of some of the questions. I don't even always write down some of these. So health center, city zoning, community-wide yard sales, dog licensing, a bee swarm removal. So I thought of you. But yes, so I referred them on to somebody. The Sweet Home Rodeo, which our community was so excited to have that. The most common question I got with that is, are we really getting a rodeo again? And that was like the last week. I got a number of calls where the week before. So, and then Sportsman Holiday, and then Cut the Gut Car Cruise. So all important things, but there is even today, I know this counts towards my 2026, but today somebody stopped in and had questions with processes at the city. And because of my history of working at the city prior, I'm able to point them in the right direction. And that has, I know that when someone feels lost, pointing them in the right direction really settles them down. So they have less angst when they're coming in. So on our website, we have, you can see which pages get the most hits. And Forrest, our number one was Cut the Gut. It is quite popular, and we have people from across the region that attend that event that register. We have the people that I can actually track that are registered are from across the region, but then we also have people that come in for it that don't sign up. They just come to hang out and see all the cool cars. But that we are looking at, well, on my paper, that's super small. So it's over 4,800 hits on just the Cut the Gut page. So that's good considering everything else. But you can see our event calendar is quite popular as well. So, but that, and the people that I didn't pull that demographic, the information on the demographics until like right before I left the office. But once I did, the people came from 584 communities that were looking at our website. So that's not counting the people from Sweet Home, people 584 outside of Sweet Home. Let me clarify. So, yeah, so that's that. Now, my favorite thing that I did in 2025 for tourist thing was helping promote A&W's Burger Family. I put out a press release for them, and that press release was picked up by Willamette Living magazine. They put it on there within 20 minutes of me sending out the press release. They had it on the front page of their website. Albany Democrat Herald ran it. KZI had it on their website and on Facebook, and they're just on their Facebook post, they had over 1,700 likes or reactions. And then the Corvallis Gazette Times also covered it. But on ours, because our local A&W does not have its own like official Facebook page, I posted the information on our Facebook because they're a member, and that had over 80,000 views. So that got a lot of traction there. And then we also, so the middle picture is the picture of like what KEZI posted. But then I also went, and Roadside America has a map of like where those Burger Family statues are listed across, well, not just the US, but also in Canada. And so I submitted, and they are officially on the map there. And if you guys know Josh, the owner, he is such a quiet person. And he said he had so many phone calls the few weeks after that press release went out. It was more attention than he usually prefers to have. But that was a really fun thing. And he said, just yesterday, he said, the furthest somebody has traveled so far to see it that he is aware of is people when they came over from Ireland specifically came to Sweet Home. They added Sweet Home to their stop to see the Burger Family statues. So it might not be your thing, but it's a lot of people's thing, and it's exciting. It's just it makes me smile. It's just a cute thing. So I really enjoy encouraging people that come to our community and supporting our local businesses, obviously. But that was a fun way to support. And now I also encourage them to stand up their own, like their Burger Family, because technically corporate doesn't have control. Okay, I won't say any of that stuff, but to stand up their own Facebook page for the Burger Family to promote those things. So they did do that. So they have some followers on there, and they do fun little antics. So that might not be as serious as you guys were expecting, but it is still bringing people into the community. And I try to find unique ways to do that. So
Well, I think that report actually reflects that you truly are a visitor center and you are bringing visitors and also answering questions. And so thank you for fulfilling what the city is asked the chamber to do in that regards. And yeah, we appreciate your work. And that's a really good report. So thank you. Any questions from counselors?
I thought it was going to be 45 minutes.
I know.
A little
Break-
short.
Breaking a promise right
Okay,
there.
all right,
Okay.
all right. Well done, well done.
All right, thanks. Thanks.
Any other questions from counselors?
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time and thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
See you around.
We do have one more recognition of visitor, or actually we have two, but we're going to ask the Community Health Committee to come do their annual report. And at any time, if you presented, if you want to go, you're welcome to go. But I just want to say thank you again. So I think, give your name into the microphone and maybe your address, your social security number. No, just kidding.
For those who don't know me, Bob Dalton, I'm the vice chair for the health committee. Kelsey would normally be here tonight, but she's off on maternity leave, so she's got a reason not to be here. I think you said you had 45 minutes on her, so that gives me an extra 30 maybe. No. I just want to thank you, Mayor, and the councilors for allowing us to be here and being a part of the city as a committee. It means a lot to us, and hopefully it means a lot to you as well. I want to shout out for Adam for doing what he does at our meetings, having the presentations on the screen for us, and Cicely also for sending out the agendas and that, and having that paperwork ready for it. It's a great deal. It means a lot to us. So anyhow, just to get started, this committee has been together for 10 years. It's kind of hard to believe we've been there. We're kind of the behind the scenes committee, I think, because we're dealing with health issues and representing, as I look at our committee, to me, we're the ambassadors for the healthcare for the city of Sweet Home. When we're out there, we're representing all of you in the front and our community out there. So understand that when we're out there, we're cheering us on and putting our name out there. Anyway, the chair is Kelsey Ray, and myself, vice chair, committee members Dick Knowles, Larry Horton, and Wanda Jones, and Shirley Schumacher, and Michael Grantz, which three of our committee members are back there in the back. If you haven't seen them, they stay pretty quiet. But also one thing about our committee, it is a very professional and has a huge cross-section of abilities and wealth that they bring to the committee. They represent the senior center side of it, the regional healthcare, Samaritan and the HSN groups out there. We have one of our members, Development Disabilities, which is Sunshine Industries, Michael Grentz. The business community, the school age population we touch, the timber industry with my background in the timber industry and what I've had there as an environmental health and safety manager. So we bring those talents to the table. And then of course, Ken Bronson being our representative for the city. So we've got a pretty good diverse group of people there. Our mission, it's just kind of important, is to promote healthy living through innovative partnerships with and outside the community while aligning with the city's health goals and address the quality of care through access to care. And that's some of the things we've done a lot over the years, is giving people the ability to access health care, even going as far as signing people up for insurance. So we stretch out there. The health fair alone, when we do that annually, we have over 40 different healthcare providers there, not outside the city as well, that come to Sweet Home to present this. Our foundational goals is continually to improve our community's healthcare through creative and innovative practices, lead change strategies through education and programs to encourage individuals to take responsibility for their health. And the base is the healthy choice is the right choice. And again, these are our foundational beliefs. Those are the kind of goals that just kind of stay set in place for the year. And then we add additional goals to help support those goals. And then work towards and promote access to healthcare and resources that support the well-being of all people in our community. And, our committee is unique in this way. And if you look across our country, a health committee, most cities do not have health committees. So that makes this committee really unique and puts Sweet Home on the front page to the outside world. And if you go out there to Lebanon, to Albany, Corvallis, the resources that come here, they talk about Sweet Home. They want to be in East Lynn County. So we've attracted those kinds of resources that are coming here constantly, looking for opportunities to expand their resources here, be here more all the time. So, you know, that's how we work, those people. Now, if you look at, Adam, if you want to throw up the accomplishments part of it, just organized and executed the annual health fair. We brought in over 40 vendors last year. Our attendance is anywhere from 300 to 500 people. It depends on that time. Of course, at that time we had the jamboree and all that's backed up. So, and a health fair is not like going to a state fair where you have rides and all that. So it's a little bit of a challenge when you're trying to bring an audience to look at health care. But we added the kids backpack program for the last couple of years. That's an additional 300 plus that come there to that, and they normally just come right over into the health fair side of it. So, and also in the health fair, one of the things that we've been working on for some time is mental health, trying to address mental health, get the stigma out of the way about mental health. And at our health fair last year, we had one table alone on mental health where over 200 people tapped that table for resources. So that kind of tells you what you're looking out there in the world of mental health. We also had met with the school district just a couple of years ago, and one of the things they were working on was the suicide prevention, because they had third graders who were talking suicide. And that really was a shock that they had that kind of data and numbers to throw at us. So that's been one of our challenges. How do we work that into the health fair, get that out into the community through different resources? Coordinated multiple service provider presentations. One thing I would challenge the council to be is, you know, to come to our meetings, because we do have guest speakers that attend that talk about suicide prevention. We have one coming up here soon to talk about diabetes. And some of those, we're also carrying those over out into the public. So instead of presenting to the Rotary and organizations, we want to branch that out to other groups of people and invite the public into those kinds of opportunities. I talked already a little bit about suicide prevention. We did that. It was a very good presentation. If we can bring that back, they're ready to come back and even present it to this group. She didn't spend but maybe 20 minutes on it, but it was a powerful presentation to get you to understand suicide in our country and within the state of Oregon. And the state of Oregon, suicide had actually went up for certain groups. The white Caucasian group had went down, but all the others had went up. So there was a real statistics that really showed out about suicide prevention. Actively participated in community-wide planning sessions, addressing federal changes to food. We met with the school district when we were looking at that shortage of foods possibility in Sweet Home, and a lot of our members showed up and participated in that group. Prepared and submitted a letter of support for the Strawberry Park wetlands. So we look at how we as a committee can influence other committees as well and participate and provide support in that. So that's just some of the accomplishments. There's other small ones we've done throughout the year, but we're continually looking for those types of opportunities. So, Adam. Goals going into next year is provide health committee presentations and education to the city council and build strong and supporting relationships. We realize we're not in front of you enough. And even we just feel that we have an opportunity to bring some of what we're doing to you. So when you go to make decisions around health or set goals around health, we've done our part to help bring you up to speed. But we also want you to understand we are a resource to this committee here. And when it comes to things like goal setting and that, because I have that down there, we're the go-to people to help you think about goals. And when you think about goal setting, you know, that's one thing we've always wanted to make sure the city council kind of throws out in front of the world a little bit, because you do a great job with your budgets and numbers and projects. But a lot of the things you're already doing support health goals, and maybe you just don't see them in that realm of things, because like public works and clean water, that's a health goal. So if you kind of understand for the public, it's not just a project to increase better water, it's to make you more healthy and those kinds of things. So I think that's an opportunity. Clean water, green areas is a health goal. You're doing that already through your city parks. That's one of the things that we talk about, expansion of green spaces, city parks. Now, why would a city park be a health goal? Well, if you're promoting walking in a place to impact mental health and wellness for the community, a little less stress, outdoor activities and exercises, that's where your city parks become one of those health goals. So like I said, I think there's just a lot of things that we could do there and that you're already doing. You just don't recognize you're doing it. But to me, when you put that out in a goal in front of the public, they go, oh, they don't only care about that, but they care about me. So I think that's where it's a good idea to throw a health goal out there. And it can be a pretty general health goal. It doesn't have to be real specific, because that's where we can come in and help support you. So, you know, look at us as a resource. I mean, that's what we want to be. I gave out some health goals to Susan, Mayor. I'll get it more straight. Some things, I don't know if they've shared that with you, of what our committee kind of put together around that. But it's something we went back and looked at. And part of those 4 categories was social cohesion, access to healthcare, safety and security, and environmental quality. That's a big general topic, but as leaders, you're in that position to have a really impact on those areas. And at any time, we would be glad to come back and expand on it at another time, so you can see the relevance of what you can do. Because we're talking about medical resources, preventative care, housing. Is housing a health thing? Absolutely. If you don't have residents that have quality housing to raise their families in, it becomes a health issue. Job security, it's a health issue. If people don't have good paying jobs in this community, they don't take health care, or they give up health care. Children's programs, emergency response, it's a health thing. You're already doing it. You got your police department, you got your fire department, you're providing the essential services when it comes to health care. But again, health care it's all intertwined. Environmental quality, I talked about clean water, ongoing practices and community gardens, green spaces, and clean neighborhoods. You just put a project, I believe last year is the first time you put your big, large bins out for people. Awesome. I mean, I walked through my neighborhood the other day, and believe it or not, that's the first time in my neighborhood, and I live up on 10th and Oak Terrace, there was a big rat laying in a road, and I had never saw a rat around our area. But that's that cleaning up of neighborhoods and trash and stuff. Healthcare. Those are all intertwined in healthcare. And already this year, I've already had 2 emails in the last week wanting to come into Sweet Home, our participation in the annual healthcare summit from Western University students, and invite to that. So I'm sure some of us will be going to that. And then the Oregon Cascade West Council of Governments sent me an email inquiring about bike safety and path safety for children, both outside resources out at Sweet Home. So they know to come to us to get that support for that. Just one last thing I wanted to share with you on my thoughts in closing about this. I'd sent this to a counselor, and I think it's worth repeating. The city council and city leadership are instrumental in setting the direction and growth of our community. It is the health committee's goal that when the city council starts the process of setting their goals this year or next year, they will include a health goal. I mean, that's I think it's a good advertisement for, it's a good investment for yourselves and in the community. The city has already achieved some of the, put in place the components such as city parks, emergency service, Samaritan Health Clinic. Members on our health committee, when we were doing our fundraising for this Samaritan Clinic, our members of our committee raised over $250,000 towards that project. Maybe you don't see that, but that's our commitment to this, to the city of Sweet Home. Sweet Home is unique as it is the only city in the area and surrounding areas that has an active health committee that is a resource to help support and guide the city's efforts in providing health resources and programs for our residents. In addition, we continue to build relationships within and outside health services that are also seeking a part of East Lynn County. So that's my presentation for the health committee in a snapshot. You know, I appreciate the opportunity to be here and share that information. I hope it was informative for you, and we look forward to continuing to be the health committee for Sweet Home in the face of health. So if you have any questions, I'll be glad to take them.
Any questions of counselors?
All right. I thank you for your time.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
Appreciate you guys being here. Okay, we have one more request under recognition of visitors and hearing of petitions. Is Gary Jarvis has filled out this form before council started, so you can come forward, give your name and your address.
Gary Jarvis, Sweet Home, Oregon, 2941 Foothills Drive. I wish to speak to you tonight specifically to the agenda item regarding the proposed city charter amendments. First, in the event that you vote to advance these amendments to the people of Sweet Home in the upcoming election cycle, I thank you. Also, as a member of the Charter Review Committee and as a citizen of Sweet Home, I wish to thank and compliment staff for the excellent summary and ballot title explanations. I know from experience how difficult it is to write such a clear, easy to understand and thorough explanation of so many changes within the allowable 175 and 500 respectively word ballot limitations. I suspect that Blair and Cecily are primarily responsible for this great explanation. So thank you. And thank you. And thank you to anyone else on staff who may have been involved. But mainly, I just think I read that and I thought I couldn't have done that. And I have years of experience in trying to do that. And so I just wanted to pass that thanks and compliment along. And I will take no more of your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gary. Okay, moving on. Next item on the agenda is there's no old business, so moving on to new business. First item under new business is request for council action, committee and commission appointments and reappointments.
Yeah, Madam Mayor and Council. So this RCA is for several appointments and reappointments to the Park and Tree Committee and the Planning Commission. Two members of the Park and Tree Committee had terms expire at the end of 2025 and in February of this year. Both have continued serving in holdover status and have indicated that they would like to continue serving. There was also one open seat available on that committee. The Administration, Finance, and Property Committee reviewed applications on February 23rd and is recommending the reappointment of Scott Swanson and Melanie Jones, along with the appointment of Dina Bechtel, all to the Park and Tree Committee with terms expiring December 31st, 2029. For the Planning Commission, one member's term expired at the end of 25, and there was also one at-large vacancy. And so the committee recommends the reappointment of Jamie Melcher with a term expiring December 31st, 2029, and the appointment of Daniel Teal to the at-large position with a term expiring same date in 2029. Staff recommends the approval of the appointments and reappointments as presented.
Any questions or comments of staff or counselors? Excuse me. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve this RCA. Any discussion? Cecily, please call for a vote.
Counselor Richards,
Yes.
President Pro Tem Thorstad,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Augsburger,
Yes.
Counselor Bronson,
Yes.
Counselor Hagee.
Yes.
Let the record show that we have 6 ayes and no nays to approve the RCA for the committee and commission appointments and reappointments. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, request for council action resolution number 4 for 2026.
Yeah, Madam Mayor and Council. So this is resolution number 4 for 2026, which is referring a charter amendment to the electors of the city and adopting a ballot title and explanatory statement. So this would refer the proposed amendments to the Sweet Home Charter to the voters at the May 19th, 2026 election. In January of 2025, Mayor appointed a charter review committee to review the charter and identify any potential updates. The committee met in public meetings between April and October of last year, gathered public input, and finalized its recommendations in October. Council then reviewed those recommendations during work sessions in December and January, which resulted in the proposed charter revisions included in the attachments to this agenda item. In order to place a measure on the May 26 ballot, the city must submit the referral to Lynn County by March 18th. So council action tonight allows staff to meet that statutory deadline. There's no additional cost to the city for placing a measure on the May ballot in an even-numbered year, and staff would recommend approval of this resolution as proposed, which would refer it to the voters for consideration.
Are there any comments, questions from counselors? I know we've spent a lot of time on the charter, so if council is up for it, they are welcome to make a motion to move this forward.
So moved.
So moved as
Second.
recommended.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 4 for 2026 as proposed. Cecily, or any discussion? Cecily, please call for a vote.
President Pro Tem Thorstad,
Yes.
Mayor Coleman,
Yes.
Counselor Augsburger,
Yes.
Counselor Bronson,
Yes.
Counselor Hagee,
Yes.
Counselor Richards.
Yes.
Let the record show that we have 6 yeses and no nays to approve resolution number 4 for 2026.
And Mayor Coleman, just for everyone's benefit, staff's already prepared a webpage which summarizes in each section the proposed revisions. So we'll be pushing that out for public information as well.
Thank you so much for preparing that to help answer questions that people may have. Moving on to the next item on the agenda is reports of committees. We have a few minutes within there. Any counselors want to report on the committees that they are assigned to? Hearing none, moving on to department reports. There are a few department reports in there. I appreciate the directors for submitting those. Any directors want to highlight items on their reports?
I will.
Yeah.
For PD, just a few things to highlight. The officer-initiated traffic stops are up significantly. We have our traffic officer position up and running. So they're up nearly 30% year to date. Overall crime is down about 16% year to date. Person crimes are down 49%, property crimes down 14%, and society crimes are down 17%. And calls for service are up about 6%. So that's what I have for the PD.
It's a really nice report.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you guys for your work, and thank you also for your traffic officer getting out there and trying to maintain traffic. Any other directors?
I just want to thank everyone that showed up yesterday for the training we did with the QPR suicide prevention at the library. And also thank you to the hundreds of hours community members have already spent sorting seeds for us for our little free seed library. So stop by and get some seeds.
I want to thank you, Director Daisy, for putting that QPR on. If for those of you who do not know, QPR is like CPR, but in suicide awareness. So when you use CPR to help somebody who is having a medical issue, QPR is a way to help people who might be having an issue. So thank you for bringing that. It was well attended yesterday. I appreciate your efforts there. Director Springman, did you want to share anything regarding your report?
I have nothing more, but if you have any questions, I can either answer them or get you the answer.
Sounds great. Any questions of the directors from the counselors? No, just regarding their reports. Okay. Moving on, reports of city officials, city managers report.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, Council, I just have a couple of things. Budget Committee, if anyone is interested in serving on the Budget Committee, we're looking for another member. And this applicant has to live within the city limits of Sweet Home. So if anyone out there is interested, we'd love to hear from you. And then mark your calendars. We've got a spring festival coming to Sankey Park. It's called Blooms and Brews. It's going to be on Saturday, April 25th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Sankey Park. And so join us for beer, wine, food, flowers, and vendors, live music as we celebrate Arbor Day. So we're pretty excited about that. And I want to thank staff and especially Cecily for all of the work that she's been doing with that. So
Great. Thank you so much. For Mayor's report, all I have is just a thank you to those who were here tonight who spoke up during public recognition time, to Henry Brewer, and also to the Sweet Home Chamber and to the Health Committee. Also to Gary Jarvis, first time on the Charter Review Committee, and everybody else who participated in that, and the time that Pro Tem Thorstad put into that as well. It was a lot of time, so I appreciate that. That's moving on to the ballot, and so we have overcome that hurdle and moving forward. So thank you all. I think Sweet Home is the best community to live in, and I am grateful to be here. So just thank you. Thank you to staff for all the work they do. Any council business for the good of the order?
Yes. I want to give a shout out to that amazing Sweet Home wrestling team with their first place finish in state, and the girls placing in state as well. And let's not forget our outstanding cheer squad with their performance down in Anaheim, California, and they placed fourth.
they placed sixth.
Sixth.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Outstanding. So.
And that's a national record. So that's
That is,
great. Mhm. Thank you. Any other council business for the good of the order? Okay, hearing none, I will adjourn this meeting at 7:11 p.m.